Okay, we're going to set up the frog. As you can see, the frog, you're going to have to line it up with the washer using your mold foot washer. So you're going to put that on your mounting stud and then screw on carefully so that you don't cross thread the threads on the mold foot, and decide which way you want that frog to point. In this case, we're going to get kind of snug when we get to the back side of the frog, or the bottom of the frog facing me. Okay, so we'll get that close to adjustment, and we'll set the mold foot. Well, first here, let's adjust, loosen these knobs on the black fence and get your guide angles in the right location. You want those facing in. Okay. Okay, now we're going to release the air pressure by pushing in on the safety button and pulling down on the control valve. That will allow us to drop our depth stop and mold foot on into the mold. But with the frog and the butterfly, possibly some of the others that we'll be coming up with later, you're going to want to adjust the depth, not by it going where it stops in the mold. You're going to want to adjust the depth by how far you think you want to press, or how deep you want to press that bath bomb. For instance, this is about 1.5 inches deep. In this case, let's say you wanted to press bath bombs that are about 1 inch thick. What you want to do is determine about where 1 inch is from the bottom. Let's say it's down about this far, down 3/8 of an inch. Bring this mold foot on down to that depth where you want it, say right in here. Now adjust your adjustment nut down to the black air cylinder mount. Okay, now that gives you your depth. So you can see when it comes down, it stops right there. It stops where you want it located in the mold. That way you fill it up. When you press it, it'll come down no further than that point. Okay, now we'll raise it back up, place it back under, bring it down. Now we can bring our black fence forward, and we want to just kind of square it up to the black fence. Tighten your guide or your black fence knobs. Now we can bring the guide angle right on into the mold. Tighten your red knob. Okay, bring your other guide angle into the groove on the mold. Tighten the guide angle. Okay, now this should be set up and aligned. So you should be able to just take this, move it up and down, and everything's working good. Okay, just make sure you can slide it in and out. Looks good there. Okay, we're all set up and ready to go. Okay, This is the Tulip, and this one is common with all of the sculpted bath bombs, where you have to have it positioned in a certain direction so that it will go into your mold. So we're going to put the washer on, and we're going to carefully screw on the mold foot, and when you feel it start getting snug, just, decide which direction you want to stop at. In this case, the point of the tulip is facing me. Now, depending on the thickness of the washer and some things, it might be that you can go all the way around with it, but it's staying in position just like it is here. So that means we'll have the tulip facing this way. We'll loosen our black guide rods, knobs. Turn the guide fence angles around. Okay, now we're going to release pressure on your air pressure and allow so we can pull the depth stop on down and the mold foot on down into the mold. Okay, now it's when that stops, basically what you want to do is when it comes down and it stops, not hard, but just into the mold, that's where you want to stop at, and that you're ready to adjust it from here. Now you adjust your nuts, your depth adjustment nuts, on down where they're just snug to the black air cylinder mount. Okay, now we can bring the black fence forward, and this is a good time to where you can square it up against the black fence. You can turn it a little bit, get it set up there, then take your guide angles, bring those into the mold, tighten those up. Okay, everything's adjusted. Tighten everything down. Okay, now you can release the air pressure again with your valve. Pull it up. Check it. Looking good. Okay, then make sure that everything's sliding in and out. If you do happen to have where your angle is bumping against your groove, you can just take it and just lift it up a little bit so that it slides into your groove, making it easy to go in and out. So that's just a matter of minor adjustment there. Okay, you're all set up. Okay, we're going to set up a sculpted bath bomb. This is a heart. First we'll remove the tube mold guide. Next we'll take the guide angles and reverse them or put them in the right position. We'll loosen the knobs for the black fence, but we won't move it yet. Okay. The mold foot, the way it's designed is you have the washer, which is going to put tension against the mold foot. And with sculpted bath bombs, there's going to be a certain direction that you want to to turn this mold foot, and you only want to go so far with it. You don't want to just keep tightening and tightening. So you want to determine which direction you're going to stop at, and there's basically with this heart, it looks like it's starting to get tight right there as the point is facing back here, back towards the back. So in that case, let's just stop right there. That's going to hold it firmly in place. Now you take the mold and set it close to the underneath the mold foot and release the pressure with your control valve by pushing forward or backward on it. That allows air to release and allows you to drop your mold foot down into the mold. When it stops, when the mold foot comes down and it stops in there, that's where you want to stop at. At that point, you can adjust your guide rod nuts or your adjustment rod nuts down just snug right down to your mount. Okay, now you want to take the black fence and move it forward against your mold, and you want everything squared up. So it's okay to just kind of turn things till everything's squared up, and tighten down your knobs for the black fence. Those are finished. Now take your guide angles, run those into your mold, not real tight, just snug to where it's up against it. Then tighten up your red knobs. Again, do the same with the other side. Tighten it up. Okay, now you can release your mold by pulling back on your control valve lever. Push it up. You can see how well it's going to slide in there. Okay, check it again. Everything's lined up. Okay, that's done. This mold is set up and ready to go.
Before you get ready to make a bath bomb, you need to check the moisture content of your mixture. This can be done by grabbing a handful, squeezing tightly, and letting it go. If it stays together, the moisture content is correct. Make sure that you crumble it back up.